There are NVIDIA settings sitting on your PC right now that don't exist anywhere in the NVIDIA app or control panel. No menu, no toggle, nothing. You need a separate tool just to see them. Today, 5 of those hidden settings, what they actually do, and how to use them.
Before we get into the settings themselves, quick setup. NVIDIA Profile Inspector isn't distributed by NVIDIA. It's a third-party open-source tool, so where you get it from actually matters. Go to the official GitHub page. Developer is OrbM2K. Links in the description. Don't grab this from random driver optimizer bundles or third-party download sites. Some of those wrap it with junk you don't want. Download the latest release zip, extract it anywhere on your PC. There's no installer, it's fully portable. Just unzip and you're ready to go. Right-click the executable and run as administrator. This is required, not optional, since the tool needs elevated permissions to actually write changes into the NVIDIA driver's profile database. If you don't run it as admin, your changes won't save even if the interface lets you click around like they did. Once it's open, before touching any setting, export your current profile first. There's an export option right in the tool. 30 seconds, and it means if anything feels off after applying changes, you can restore your exact starting point instantly, instead of hunting down individual settings to undo manually.
First, frame rate limiting and pre-rendered frames, both controlling how many frames get queued before they actually hit your screen. Profile Inspector has its own frame rate limiter settings, separate from the one built into the standard NVIDIA control panel or app. The exact naming has shifted across driver versions over the years, so rather than me telling you to find one specific labeled option, look for whatever frame rate limiter section shows up in your current build, and know that it works similarly to what you'd expect. Capping your frame rate a few frames below your monitor's refresh rate reduces the chance of hitting a ceiling where tearing or extra latency creeps in. The setting I'm more confident recommending directly, maximum pre-rendered frames set down to 1. This controls how many frames your CPU is allowed to prepare in advance of what your GPU is currently displaying. Lower it and you cut input lag, since there's less of a backlog between what you did and what's on screen. Honest note here, this is the same underlying concept as low latency mode from my GPU tier list video, just exposed with more granular control at the driver profile level instead of the standard control panel. If you've already got low latency mode enabled there, check you're not stacking 2 versions of the same fix. Pick one. To find these, open Profile Inspector, select your game's profile or the global profile, and look under the frame rate/synchronization section for both settings.
Second, forcing specific hardware behavior on a per-game basis rather than trusting the driver's defaults for every title equally. Power management mode can be forced to prefer maximum performance per individual game profile rather than relying on your global setting to apply everywhere. This matters if you've got a mix of games, some CPU-bound competitive titles where you want max clocks immediately, and some less demanding games where you don't mind the driver managing power more conservatively. Setting this per game instead of globally gives you that flexibility without compromise either way. Threaded optimization can also be set per game rather than left on auto everywhere. Honest note, same as I said in my AMD hidden settings video about the equivalent concept there, modern drivers generally handle this well automatically, so per-game overrides here are more of a fine-tuning option than a guaranteed win, worth testing on a specific game that feels CPU-bound rather than assuming it'll help everywhere. To set these, select your game's profile in Profile Inspector, find Power Management Mode and Threaded Optimization under the Common Settings section, and set your per-game values there instead of relying on the global profile.
Third, and I want to correct something up front here. Texture filtering LOD bias and ambient occlusion override don't both reduce rendering load the same way. One does, one doesn't, and I'd be misleading you to lump them together as pure performance wins.
Texture filtering LOD bias EXT genuinely can reduce GPU work by shifting the level of detail bias for textures, trading a small amount of visual sharpness at a distance for a real performance gain. This one fits a load reducer framing, honestly. Ambient occlusion override, on the other hand, is typically used to force AO on in games that don't support it natively, or to override a game's built-in implementation with NVIDIA's own version. That's a visual quality addition, not a performance reducer. It can actually cost you some GPU headroom rather than free it up. I'm including it here because it's a genuinely underused setting worth knowing about, but I want to be direct. Use this if you want better visuals in a game lacking good AO, not if you're trying to reduce load. To adjust, per game profile in Profile Inspector, look under the texture filtering section for LOD bias and under Common or Compatibility settings for ambient occlusion usage or override, depending on your version's layout.
Fourth, two settings more relevant to current generation cards and VRAM-heavy titles specifically. DLSS preset override lets you force a specific DLSS rendering preset per game, rather than relying on whatever preset the game's own implementation defaults to. Different presets prioritize different things. Some favor stability and reduced ghosting, others favor sharper detail, so this is genuinely a test which preset looks best in your specific game setting rather than one clear universal answer. CUDA sysmem fallback policy controls whether CUDA-based workloads can spill over from VRAM into system RAM when VRAM runs out instead of crashing outright. Honest flag on this one, it's primarily relevant to compute and CUDA-accelerated applications, not traditional gaming workloads. If you do any GPU compute work alongside gaming, certain streaming setups, AI tools, or rendering software, this is worth knowing about. If you're strictly a gamer, this setting won't do much for you, and I don't want to oversell it as a general FPS tip.
Next up, RBAR, Resizable BAR. Quick refresher if you're not familiar. Normally, your CPU can only see a small chunk of your GPU's VRAM at a time. Resizable BAR lets it see the whole thing at once, which can mean a real, measurable frame rate boost in supported games, sometimes single digits, sometimes more, depending on the title and GPU. In Profile Inspector, you'll find it under System, Memory, and Compute. RBAR/Enable is the main toggle, and if you've already turned it on in your motherboard BIOS and NVIDIA driver globally, this is where you can fine-tune it per game instead. There's also RBAR/Size Limit, which caps how much of VRAM gets exposed. Leave this at its default unless you have a specific reason to cap it, since restricting it defeats the point. One caveat, this only helps if your whole chain supports it. Motherboard, CPU, and GPU all need resizable BAR support, and it needs to be enabled in BIOS first. If any link in that chain doesn't support it, none of this will do anything for you. Some games also don't support it at all, and a handful actually run worse with it forced on. So this is one where testing with it on versus off in your specific game is worth the 2 minutes.
So that's 5 more settings from Profile Inspector: frame pacing controls, per-game hardware forcing, 1 genuine load reducer paired with 1 visual quality addition, modern DLSS and CUDA-specific options, and a niche closer for hybrid or multi-display setups. If you haven't seen my other 3 Profile Inspector videos, they're linked above. And between all 4 of these, that's a genuinely deep look at what this tool can actually do. Let me know in the comments which setting you didn't know existed, and subscribe if you want more of these. I'll see you in the next one.